I'm Rachael Swartz from Peak Valley Property Homes in Colorado Springs, Colorado. And before mastery, I went to college for graphic design. So I have a graphic design background and a product design background, and I worked at a 3D printing company in the Springs and was laid off a few months before COVID started, and graphic design jobs weren't paying that well. And I always wanted to get into real estate, so I was like, why not now? And that's when I found Fortune Builders, and I joined in January, beginning of January, mid-January, right before COVID started. So, and I've been on these calls with JJ basically from the beginning. So with COVID, I'm actually very glad that JJ started these group calls, because now I know so many of you. And I don't know where I would be with my business if it wasn't for all of you guys. So I'm very thankful to be here, and I'm glad that all of you are here on this call. So this is Canva. So basically a brief introduction of what Canva is it basically helps you put like a picture, whatever you want for your social media to post on Instagram, LinkedIn, Facebook, all of those platforms you can make into Canva. So you can put like your logo and like your banner for like all of your information and whatever you want to post onto that content. So this is Canva, and there's a lot of different ways that you can get to it. And also right up from the back, from the front, you do not have to buy Canva. Is going to be like a pro version, and they ask you like to buy it. You don't need it. And I will get into that later on. So basically, if you go to canva.com and you sign in, you'll have your information like over here. And there's a few different ways that you can start your design. So you can go up here to the left-hand corner, it says home, and there's templates. So there's a whole bunch of things that you can do. If you just hover over it, it'll show templates. So then here are all of the social media. So it's important to kind of know what you're going to design first, so you know what to pick. If you're going to do an Instagram story or an Instagram post, there's different sizes for that. So then you would pick the Instagram post. But then as you get along with Canva, if you are new and you need a business card or like a flyer or anything like that, you can make a business card or a brochure and everything like that. You can pick certain templates, or at least the right size. Like if you do the business card, it'll have the size for that business card. So that's where you can find that here. Or you can honestly go down here and you can browse by category. And you can kind of pick what you want to do. So if I go home, as you make the templates, you're going to see the ones that you've made also. See, here are my designs. I just made this a few minutes ago before this call. So basically, I usually make an Instagram post, and then I upload it to Instagram and Facebook at the same time. But that's a personal preference of mine. So for today, because it's so close to Thanksgiving, I figured I would show you how to do a Thanksgiving post. So then now once you find out all of like the documents of what you want to make, you can just click what you want to make. So I want to make an Instagram post. So I'm going to click Instagram post, and then it's going to pop up, and then here is my white background. And then this is where I'm going to pull everything and make the post. So right out from the back, this is your side, like it's kind of like your dashboard of everything. Here are templates that you can pick from, and you can browse and everything, like figure out what you want. But honestly, since most of us have our own logo and everything, it's very important to know where you keep all of your files. It's important, especially as a graphic designer, to keep track of your work and know where everything is. So try to be organized so it's easier for you in the long run. So basically, you want to upload your logo. So if you go to uploads, you go to upload media, and you go to the device, and you have to go on your computer where your logo is, and then you upload it here. And I have my logo just down here. So then That way, every time you go to post something, like to make a Canva post, you have it in there and you just swipe and pull it over. So I'll just go into photos and I'm going to type in Thanksgiving. And I'll probably pick like a background. So this is a perfect example. So basically this one, if I wanted to pick this one, I could pick free. You can pick all the ones that are free. But then this one that has a crown that says pro, that you would have to pay for. So you can pay for it, or you can pay for the pro like version, but like there's a lot of free things that you can pay for that you don't have to pay for. So I would recommend just not paying for it, because we're already paying for like PropStream and everything else. There's kind of no need to pay for it. But I'm going to go back to uploads, and I'm just going to show you what I'm about to make. If I just drag this in, this is a small little banner that this is the first thing when I come into Canva, I just drag that over because I've already made it. But I'm going to show you how to make that tonight. And then it's literally that easy. You just drag and paste it. So I'm going to delete that, and I'm going to show you how to do it. So we'll go back into photos, and let's see which one we want to do. You kind of just have to play around with which ones. See, like a lot of them are the pro. This is a free one. It's a cute one. So really kind of like depends on how picky you're going to be. Sometimes I can be pretty picky just because I'm a designer, but it's better to be consistent and post things than not to post at all. This one's cute. Why not? So I'm going to just drag this in here, and then I'm going to fit it to the page. So I'm just going to zoom out and go like this, just like with your mouse, just like for now. And you can always size it and crop it. The crop button is right here, or you could flip it if you wanted to flip the picture. In this case, I don't need to, but if you click out of the picture, you're not going to have those options. So you need to click, and then you can have those adjustments that you can make. So then I'm going to go into elements. So the next thing I would do is I'm going to make my banner. So I usually use this one, but there's a bunch of different shapes that you can pick from. So I'm just going to click this, and sometimes it kind of clicks onto like what kind of like the background that you have. So I can go into here, and it doesn't have my logo color. So what I'm going to do is go into uploads. I'm going to go down here, and I'm going to find my logo, and I'm going to drag it. Sometimes it's kind of picky. I'm going to make it smaller. It's kind of hard because I have all of you at the bottom messing with my settings. I need to move you guys. Sometimes it's picky, so if it wants to like just do like a background, like sometimes like when you drag it over and it was doing like making it like a full like background, don't unclick it yet. Make sure you unclick it when it's smaller, so then that way like you don't like not see like your background. And then you can just make it smaller just by like clicking that corner with the arrow, and then you can just drag it down at the corner. And I'll resize everything later. But then now if you click this box down here, you see my photo colors. It has my logo. I want this color because I want that specific color because that's the colors of my company. So I'm going to just drag it over to like the corner, and I'm going to bring it up. And then I'm going to just slide it over. And you guys can do this however you want. This is just kind of what I do. You can do kind of whatever design you want to do. So then I have my banner color in place, and then I am going to go to text. Now, the text, all these you can pick if you want, but like this, like it just wow, like that's all it is wow. Like you can't change the wow or anything. Like it's like if you want wow on your Canva page, you can click that and drag it over. But if you want actual text, you can click the heading, and then I'm going to type in my company name. Peak Homes, and then I'm going to do Command A, and that selects it all. And I'm going to make it a lot smaller. And then see this X here? You just literally click and drag. And then see how it's kind of close to the corner once I click out on the page on like the white background right here where my mouse is. I'm going to click back in, and I'm just going to use my little arrow keys to move up and down, but I'm going to make it a lot smaller because I personally want my cell phone number down here. But like you can make a few different banners, and I could just have Peak Valley Property Homes up at the top and then like my cell phone number at the bottom. You can kind of pick and choose what you want to do. So I'm going to make it smaller, probably a little too small. So I'm going to move it up. And this is all playing around in personal preference to make it look good. And then I'm going to add a subheading, and I'm just going to do my company website. And then I'm just going to move it up so I can see what I'm doing. But I'm obviously going to make it smaller than my company name. That seems a little too small, so I'm going to double click it, and then I'm going to make it just a little bit bigger, and then I'm going to drag it down to the bottom. And then did you see those purple lines? It kind of like will line up to the Peak Valley Property Homes. So that's nice. That does that. And usually my banner is not this big, so I'm going to move everything up a little bit. So I haven't made a new banner in a while. And then I'm going to add my cell phone number. You definitely want to have your cell phone company number on these Canva pictures so they can reach out to you. Because not everyone wants to look at the email. Sometimes they just want to pick up the phone. I'm going to drag it down here. And see, the Peak Valley Property Homes is a little bit too big, or my cell phone number is a little bit too big. So I'm going to change my cell phone number. I'm just going to make it a little bit smaller because I really want my company name to like peek out. I mean to pop out, my bad, not peek. Still a little bit big. I'm just going to move it over. I'm just going to drag this over. I'll drag this up just like that. And you want to make sure that there's no little like white gaps. You'll see a little like gap, and when you click out, there's no white line, so that means you're good. So then here, I am going to make my company name, my logo, a little bit smaller just to make it look a little bit better. So I'm just literally clicking the logo, and I'm moving like the arrows, and I'm just dragging it over to like where I want it to be. So then I can play around with it more, or what I can do is I can say Happy Thanksgiving at the bottom, but like I might just leave that blank. Or honestly, with this, I might honestly just put my number down here and make it bigger. And then because it's white, you need to change the color. So you can use whatever color text that you want to do. So with this A button, it literally makes you be able to change any of the colors that you want. So I want to use blue because I don't want too many different like colors. You know, I want to have like the same like theme going on. But also, I'm actually going to change this to the heading so it pops out more. And I'm doing that just so it pops out more and I have a lot more room. So again, the same white text, I'm double clicking it and you can do Command A to select it all. Because if you don't select it, it's not, your computer's not going to know what to select to change the colors, the font, or anything like that. So I'm going to make it a little bit bigger because that's a little excessive on the size. And then I'm going to make it blue. And then I don't like the placement of it, so I'm going to just bring it down to the side. And I'm just literally dragging like my arrow keys. It's still a little bit big, so I'm just going to make it a little bit smaller. Because like, keep in mind, like if it looks really, really big on your computer, it's going to look really big on like your screen. That's a little small. So sometimes they don't always have the numbers that you want, so you can literally just type in the numbers. So that's like not terrible. And then sometimes like you kind of move it around, and if you don't like the placement of it, I think it's just a lot faster to just move around with the arrow keys. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to write Happy Thanksgiving. So obviously the heading is going to be a bit big, so I'm going to do like the subheading like how I did with my website. And also keep in mind, make sure you double check your work because you don't want any spelling mistakes. Been there, done that, it's not fun. Especially when you post them to all of your social media accounts. So I'm kind of just playing around with it. So this might not have been like the best background to do because you can make it pretty big, and with a white text like this, you could make it like this. Personally, don't like that. I don't like any of this. So this is what I do because this is what I'm a graphic designer. So maybe this wasn't the best background. So I could make this pretty small if I wanted to and like move it over here and be done with it. Or what I can try to do to see if I'll like this more is sometimes when you pick like a background and like let's say I want to make like this background the whole image, you wouldn't really be able to see my logo or my phone number. So that's why I left a blank spot for it. But what you can do is go back to the elements and you can get a box and you can size it to however the size you want. Kind of want to stay maybe in the basket for now. And I'm going to put in Happy Thanksgiving. And I like that more than just having the Happy Thanksgiving off to like the side. And then what you can do is, so sometimes if you're not finding things and you can't figure out where it is, like you can position things to the front or to the back. So like if your background, this background was coming up and you couldn't see the Happy Thanksgiving, you can just click this background picture and click position and click backwards. But since it's already backwards, it's not going to let me click that. It would click forward, and if I clicked forward, then you wouldn't be able to see the text box and the text. And then also, this little gradient box is called transparency. what you can do, you have to make sure, like right now I have the text selected. If you click out and you click the box, and the box is highlighted, so I click that. If I clicked the transparency, that means I could go like this, and I could have it transparent if I want to do that. So you can kind of get a little creative with that. But I'm not going to do that. So then, happy Thanksgiving. So then this is what I would do. If I like this, then I can be like done with it. Just move it over. So again, there is a lot of things in each of the sides of the panels. So photos, you can literally go and just click whatever, like motivational, like some real estate, or you can pull stuff from Google. And you can also upload like pictures of yourself. If you have pictures of like your house and everything, that staging or anything that you have going on, like all your projects, you should be posting that. And you can easily upload them and then put your banner and everything like that. And then again, like with a whole bunch of text, and you can add music, but then there's also backgrounds. So if you want to just do like a plain like Monday and make like your own quote, like you totally can. You can just pull all of these backgrounds, like all of the free ones, unless you pay for the pro like version. And you can just literally click and drag them in, and then you can easily just write a text and be like happy Monday or happy Friday or anything like that. You don't always have to find like a picture. You can just do a subtle background if you wanted to do that. So then that, if you want to get really creative, you can click the animate, and it makes it into like a small little video. I don't do this too often, but you can if you want to, and some of them are obviously, again, are the paid version. So the block, if you just click the block, it literally does a preview for you. Or you could do the fade or the pan. I'm just going to click none, because sometimes if you do like a video on your social media, it'll pop up as like a white plain like background, and I want you to be able to see the post. So I tend to not do too many animations. So then what I'm going to do is, this is how you name it. So now I'm going to show you like how to name it and then how to save it, which for Canva, I don't know why, but they don't have a save button. So then what I'm going to do is I'm going to name this Thanksgiving. Thanksgiving. And then I'm going to hit the download. So like there is no save button. So then what I do is I hit the download button, and it's going to give me options like PNG, JPEG, PDF, PDF print. Honestly, PNG is totally fine. PNG is basically the same thing as like a JPEG, and those are the two files that you need to post on Instagram and Facebook. So I just do the suggested one, and I hit the download button. So then from there, it's probably going to do a pop-up, and it's going to want you to like do a trial for like 30 days. I just literally just X out, and then I go into my downloads file onto my computer, and it's there. And then from there, I put it into my social media folder onto my computer, and then I upload it onto social media. Because I am a graphic designer, and I know some of you here have Adobe Illustrator programs, but Adobe Illustrator programs are expensive. It's not like you can just like buy it and then like you have it. You have to literally keep paying for it like monthly. And if you're not at the college rate, it's expensive. So yes, it's nice to be able to have Canva and not have to pay for all of the Adobe features if you guys don't have that. Basically what you've made, that's how it's going to look on your phone, because you just go onto your phone and you just upload, and then like, because you have to save it. So you have to literally, what I do is I email to my phone. So like I have it in my downloads. I put it in the correct folder, so I have it, so I can see kind of what I've been making and everything like that and keep track of everything. In Canva, you already decided what posts you were going to do. So if you're going to post on Instagram, you click the Instagram post and it has the size dimensions on the bottom. So basically how I got my background to be the same color as my logo is because when you upload your images, it has your logo here. So Canva is smart. Honestly, as a graphic design standpoint, I do like Canva. It's not terrible. Like it definitely has some limitations compared to designing on Adobe Illustrator and stuff like that. But at the same time, I'm not here to be a graphic designer. I'm here to get my content out for people, for leads to come in. So I'm not spending that much time how I normally would be. So yeah, they're not always like 100% the best, and I'm not always happy with them. But at least I have them, and I'm spending limited amount of time doing that because I need to spend more time marketing. So because you're already in the uploads, when you go and you click the elements, you just drag it over. When you click the box of the element right here, that is where the color will pop up, no matter like what box you pull into it. Then when you click that, see it has the photo colors. Your logo should be there. And then here are the colors that are in my logo. And that's how I picked them.
Rachel, can you go over how to check for free Google stuff?
You can go to images. I go to images. You can type in Thanksgiving. Thanksgiving images. So then here you can't just like pull anything from Google, even though the Snoopy is pretty cute. What I do is I go to settings and then I go to advanced search. And go all the way down to the bottom. Like there's different things that you can do. Like you can do the size or the colors if you're really going to be like that picky if you're looking for a specific thing. But if you're going to be that specific, you're not going to find that much. And then go to all. They used to have free and commercial. They kind of changed this. So I just do the Creative Commons licenses. And see, find images you are free to use for yourself. Then I do the advanced search, and a whole lot of different things pop up. And then you can click any of these. See, look, I just used that background, and it was free. So that's how you do that.